All right, my friends, I want to show you the type of equations that I'm going to expect you to know and do, the type of chemical equations that I'm going to expect you to know and do on the test. I'm going to give you only the left-hand side, and I can envision really only three different types of equations. One would be an acid-base. So acid-base, you better know. A combustion reaction, you better know. And a precipitation reaction. You better know that too. Okay, those are the three types of equations that I'm going to give you the left-hand side and expect you to get the right-hand side and balance it. Let's take these in order, I guess. An acid-base reaction. Okay, this might be something like HCl, which is an acid. It's going to be aqueous. Plus, let's go ahead and let's just do a barium hydroxide, BaOH2. Okay, this is an acid base, and I'm just going to give you that. And you better be able to recognize there is an acid because there's an H, and there's a hydroxide, which is the base, acid base. And the reactions, the products for an acid base are always water plus the salt. In this case, it's going to be BaCl2. You better know by now that chloride is a -1. The hydrogen is the proton, the hydrogen, the H plus is a +1. Barium from the periodic table is a +2. The hydroxide ion is a -1. Okay, so you should know that the salt that's going to form here is barium chloride. Okay, now we just have to balance this guy. If we put a 2 here and a 2 here, that should get it for us. Acid base. These are the products. This is a liquid. This is going to be aqueous. Okay, acid base. You should know that the right-hand side, the products are going to be water plus whatever salt comes out of that. Right? I'm going to expect you to know that. Second thing I'm going to expect you to know is a combustion reaction. And let's just make up one. Let's do propane. C3H8. We're going to burn that in oxygen. And that's always, I'm just going to give you the left-hand side. This is always CO2 plus water. Okay? Now we got to balance this sucker. I usually start with the hydrogens. The hydrogens, I'm going to put a 4 right there. Because this is even, I don't need to do anything else. That's going to be the right answer. I don't need to affect this at all. And so let's do the carbons. Carbons is going to be 3 right here. And so that gives me 6. And 4 is 10. That's going to make this a 5. Okay, that should be balanced right there. And so this is a combustion reaction. This is probably a gas. This is a gas. This is going to come out as gas, and this will come out as gas as well. Okay, this is a combustion reaction. You should know that a hydrocarbon plus oxygen is always going to give you CO2 and water. CO2 and water, CO2 and water. This first one is an acid base. Acid base. The second one is going to be combustion. All right. Now, the acid base is also what we call a double displacement, double replacement. Okay, it's a double displacement is what we will call it. All right, the last type of reaction that I expect you to know is a precipitation reaction. Now, you're not going to know right away from looking at something, so let's give you one. Let's do silver nitrate, AgNO3, plus let's do sodium chloride. Let's make it just a little bit harder. Let's do calcium chloride. So calcium chloride. Okay, it's going to be aqueous. This is going to be aqueous. Okay, I hope you can see right away that this is going to be a double displacement. We have a cation, anion. We have a cation, anion. And they are going to go to the dance together, but they're coming home with different people. Okay, so what is this going to yield? Well, this is going to yield to us This cation is going to go with that ion. AgCl plus, this is going to give me CaNO3 2. You should know that that nitrate is a -1 charge. Okay, now the question is, what about these phases right here? What are the phases on the right-hand side? Well, I will give you, you better look it up. I will give you a precipitation table that will tell you which two ions will form a precipitate. And you won't know, you don't expect you to know that, know the precipitation table, but you better know how to use it. Okay, you also better balance this. So if I put a 2 right there and I put a 2 right there, then that should get me balanced. Okay, so if I was to look up that solubility table, which I will provide one for you on the test, you will find that this is going to form a precipitate. It is not soluble. And you will also look up the calcium nitrate and you will find that that is soluble. So this will form an aqueous solution. If it is soluble, these ions fall apart. We call that aqueous. Okay? Now, I used to have other types of reactions. I think I'm going to just go with these right here. An acid base. You better be able to look at something and tell if it's an acid base. And the products are always going to be water and the salt. So always going to be water and the salt. In a combustion reaction where you have a hydrocarbon reacting with oxygen, you're always going to get CO2 and water in the gaseous form. This is combustion. In this last problem, you don't know it's a precipitate, but you better be able to see that this is a double displacement where you take two aqueous ions that will fall apart in water. And when they recombine, you should be able to look at this. You better have the intuition to look at that precipitation table and say, well, I better figure out what the phases are. I got to get these phases right. Always have to get these phases right on the things that I am predicting. And the only way you can do that is by consulting a precipitation table. Okay, my friends, this will be on the test. I expect most people to get these right now that I give you this nice little tutorial right here. Okay, be good.